Welcome back to Scripture Unlocked. I'm Elias Monroe.
And I'm Rachel Sinclair. Today we're diving into a fascinating topic, what the Bible really means when it talks about rewards in heaven.
This is one of those ideas that's often shaped by our culture more than by Scripture itself. You know, we tend to picture heaven like some sort of eternal awards ceremony, where the better you behave, the better your prize.
As if you get a gold medal for generosity, and maybe a silver for patience.
But when we really study what Jesus teaches about heavenly rewards, we see something far more profound and far more present.
In Matthew chapter 6, Jesus talks about storing up treasures in heaven instead of on earth. But notice, he doesn't describe those treasures as material or distant. He's pointing us toward a kind of life where our priorities shift.
That's right. The reward isn't a prize we collect later. It's the transformation that happens as we learn to live in God's way now. When we obey Jesus' teachings, to share our food with those who are hungry, to care for the sick, to visit those in prison, we're not earning celestial points. We're stepping into a life that reflects heaven on earth.
It's a mindset of abundance and generosity. When we live that way, we're not just doing good deeds, we're experiencing a glimpse of the life that God always intended for humanity, like the life we see described in the Garden of Eden.
Think about that for a moment. Eden wasn't just about beauty and perfection. It was about harmony between humanity, creation, and God. When we live generously, we're recovering a piece of that original design.
When we share a meal, when we help a neighbor, when we practice hospitality, we gain rewards that aren't physical possessions. They're things like mutual joy, gratitude, and peace.
And maybe most importantly, we gain a deeper sense of God's presence, that security that comes from walking with Him, trusting and following His lead, even through challenges.
Because let's be honest, living in the way of Jesus doesn't shield us from pain or loss, but it does give us a new kind of perspective on those things. We start to see suffering not as punishment, but as part of the refining process of love.
Of course, there's a cost to living this way. When we choose generosity over greed, or compassion over competition, we might miss out on opportunities to get ahead.
But what we gain is so much greater. When we leverage our opportunities and possessions for the good of others, we're freed from attachment to things that are already fading away.
That's the irony of it. We think that holding tightly to our stuff will make us secure. But it's actually the letting go that brings peace.
And that's what Jesus calls us into, a kind of treasure that can't rust or rot. When we learn to appreciate divine things, true compassion, generous forgiveness, mercy for both loved ones and enemies, we're learning to treasure heavenly rewards.
So maybe the question isn't, what will my reward in heaven be, but how can I live in heaven's way today?
Because every time we love selflessly, forgive freely, or serve humbly, we're participating in the life of heaven right here on earth.
That's what it means to be part of God's kingdom now. Not waiting for something far off, but joining in the renewal of all things that's already begun.
And when heaven and earth are finally joined together, as Scripture promises they will be, we'll realize that those heavenly rewards were never far away. They were woven into the very fabric of how we lived, loved, and followed Christ.
If you enjoyed this content and would like to hear more, be sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and turn on notifications by clicking on the bell icon so you do not miss out on future episodes. Copyright 2025